Hi everybody, it's Jenna from Jenna Stitches. Today is Sunday, so it is time for my weekly progress video. If you are new to my channel, welcome so much. Wait, no. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by and checking it out. If you like it, please think about liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, all that fun stuff. I would really appreciate it. And if you're coming back, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate that as well. And I doubt you can hear them, but if you can, my kids are right outside the door playing. They're not being too terribly loud, so I think it would be okay, but if you can hear them, I apologize. But what I do every Sunday is come on and just show you the things I've worked on throughout the week. And I personally don't feel like I got too much done this week. I know looking at it now, like it's a lot, but I don't feel like I really crocheted a lot this week at all. Especially on these projects. Like I crocheted a lot on that heartthrob blanket I'm working on for the collab I'm doing. And I feel like I didn't get any of that done, even though I put so much time into it, but it's almost done. I'll definitely have it done in time for Thursday. But I don't know. I still feel like I didn't really crochet too much, but looking at what I got done, I definitely did. So I have all new projects except for one. Well, new to you. There's a couple that I've been working on behind the scenes, but all of these are going to be new to you guys. And I got 1, 2, 3 finishes, 2 new starts, and a whip that you've seen before to show you guys. So we will start off with my cat being weird. Can you say hi to everybody? Say hi. This is Lucifer. You guys have probably already seen him before. You're going to see him in quite a few videos this week because he's just keeps following me in here. And he wants some lovin's right now. If you go back to my very first short I made, and I think I mentioned this again, so you'll probably hear it in another video this week, but the very first short I made, which was like right when I made my channel, you can see him as a kitten playing with my yarn, and that was only like 6 months ago. 7, maybe. Oh, somebody's calling me. We're gonna decline that. He got so big so fast. But anyways, so the first thing I'm gonna show you guys, I've actually been working on for maybe like 3-4 weeks now. I just haven't shown it because it's nothing new. I've made this project before. I've showed it on my channel before. But I wanted one for myself because the first one I made that I wore in a couple of videos was for my cousin. So I finally got around to making myself one. And if you've watched my last few shorts, you've already seen it because I featured it. But it is another wild only under hooded scarf. So I've made this several times. I've showed the other ones I've made. This one is more of a loose interpretation of the pattern. I did follow it for the shawl part for the most part. I think once I got down to towards the bottom, I did add some extra rows to make it a little bit wider. But this top part where you make the actual hood of the cowl, I did my own thing. I didn't follow the pattern at all. But I made this, and I added tassels to this one because I just thought it would look really cool, and I'm glad I did. I can't hold it up all the way. There we go. And I love it. And I made the hood a lot longer than I normally do, so it fits me very well. So it actually, like the cowl part does go over my shoulders even, so it is definitely as wide as I wanted it, which is what I was going for. And then the hood part is very large, so like it goes over my head with tons of room, which I'm just loving it. I wore it out the other day. I just think it's gorgeous. I love this pattern so much. And I do plan on making many more, which I know I've mentioned before. But this is made with the, I'm going to keep it on, the Loops and Threads Facet yarn in the colorway Juniper, which is probably the prettiest yarn I've ever seen. I know I've mentioned it many times before that this shade of green and this shade of purple are my favorite colors ever. So them together is just awesome. And the fringe, the bigness of it, how big the cowl is, everything just came out perfect on this one. So I'm very happy with it. Kind of glad that I did make it. Oh, what was I just gonna say? Oh, this has kind of been my nighttime project, which is why I haven't really showed it, because I know I've mentioned before, I kind of have a project that I like set aside and I use it when I don't feel like working on any of my other projects, or I use it to go to bed with me. I try to take a project that's not too terribly large to bed with me a lot of nights, because there's a lot of nights where I go in my bedroom but I don't actually go to sleep. So this was that. And there was actually very few times that I worked on it steadily, other than, you know, those couple times at night, or when I took it to bed, I'd work on, you know, a couple rows of the project. I don't know what I was gonna say. I'm just kind of out of it right now. I don't know why. I was fine before I came in here, and then I came in here and I'm like, I'm drained. I don't know why. I've just been sitting around crocheting all day. But so that is one thing that we have. And then the second thing we have is a hat. So I do have a goal to make a hat a week throughout 2023, and so far I've stuck to that goal. I know we're only 3 weeks in, but I did make my third hat of the year this week. It's not the hat I planned on, but it's still a hat, so we're gonna count it. And here it is. So this hat is the Sea Star beanie. I don't remember what it's called. I'll have to link it down below, but it is part of my Make 11 of 2023 that I have. It's actually a hat and cowl set. I haven't made the cowl yet, but I'm going to. But I did obviously make the hat, and I have to say it's not as pretty in person as it is in the picture on the pattern. I don't have the pattern in here with me, or I'd show you, but I don't know. I just don't find it appealing at all. I don't know if it's because it's this yarn, because honestly, I find this yarn very ugly. This is the new Caron cinnamon swirl cakes that came out. You got it? Sorry, my kid slammed the door against the wall. Well, he didn't mean to. I think the cat actually did it. He was trying to close it. But this is the new cinnamon swirl cakes that just came out. And this yarn looks so pretty in the cake, but I think I mentioned it even when I showed the cake. This olive green, to me, does not go with the rest of the colors at all, and it completely throws off the whole hat for me. I don't know if I would like it any better if that olive green was gone, because honestly, now worked up, this yarn colorway and yarn itself just does not appeal to me. The yarn itself's okay. There's nothing spectacular about it at all. It's kind of scratchy to work with, to be honest, and I don't know. It just did not work up. I mean, it worked up nicely, but this does not appeal to me. I don't know what else to say about it. And with a $12.99 price tag on the yarn, I definitely probably will not be getting any more Caron cinnamon swirl cakes. Do you like how I said definitely probably? Because I was right after I said definitely, I'm like, I'm not gonna say definitely, because I actually did just buy the colorway Bay, but I did mention in the first video that I was for sure going to buy Bay. And I was even kind of on the fence about buying it. Like, I love the colorway. I think it's gorgeous. But after making this hat, I'm like, do I really want to spend that much money on a yarn that I know I don't like? Which is so sad, because I love Caron cakes so much. But here's the hat. Then I have the last finished project that I made throughout the week. And it's this little baby cardigan. Obviously, my ends aren't woven in yet. But I consider it finished even with the ends not woven in. Please shut the door. You guys are being loud. Wait. Sorry. So here it is. This was a YouTube tutorial. Honestly, don't know the name of it or who it was even by, but I will get it linked down below. And I didn't even really follow the tutorial. I followed it for the yoke, and then once I split for the arms, I kind of did my own thing. So I made the body a lot shorter than what the video called for, and I didn't even watch it after that, and I did my own thing for the sleeves. It's supposed to be a newborn size. It's definitely bigger than that, but I have a teddy bear who's about a newborn size, and I put it on him, and it fits him. It's a little bit big, but you know, what's wrong about having something a little bit big for a baby? They grow so fast that the baby that this is for will hopefully grow into it fairly quickly. But there it is. So it's supposed to be a newborn size. I personally think it's about a 0 to 3, or maybe even 3 to 6 month, somewhere around in there. The tutorial video itself is done for a 1 to 2 year old, but the directions have what size hook to use for what size you need to make, because that's the only difference if you're changing sizes, is to change your hook size. And I went with a 4mm, which according to the tutorial should be a 9 to 12 month. That definitely is not a 9 to 12 month at all. So I don't know what my point to that was. That obviously is not going to fit a 9 to 12 month old. I mean, I guess it maybe if I made the body a little bit longer, it could, but like the width of it would not fit a 9 to 12 month old. So I think the pattern with that part was a little off, which kind of concerns me, because I started another one for a 3 to 4 year old. This was a request from my aunt. She is going to be a great aunt. One of her nieces on the other side of the family is pregnant and having a little girl. And she already has a little girl who apparently does not want her baby sister. So she's hoping by me making them matching cardigans, and I'm also going to be making them matching dolls, that the 3-year-old will be a little bit more excited. But it kind of worries me with this pattern, because I know after making this one that the size doesn't really match what the tutorial says. I put it down and like the fluff flew into my face. But this is what I have so far for the 3 to 4 year old one. I'm really hoping it will fit. I'm not really too good with sizing when it comes to wearables that aren't for myself. I've actually only made cardigans for, you know, someone who is not me once before, and it was for a baby, and I couldn't find that pattern I used, or I would have just used that one. But I'm trying to get it laid out right, so you can kind of, like, here is the yoke so far, and I believe I just have to finish this row that I think came undone in my bag, because I swear I was done with it, and then I'm ready to put the chain in to do the sleeves. So, and then after you do that, you don't increase anymore. So I'm thinking this is, I can't get it laid right. There we go. This is the size of it. I guess I could say that would be 3-year-old now that I look at it. I just will have to make it a little bit longer than I made the baby one. But that's my progress on that. So yeah. Don't know what else to say tonight. I feel so off for some reason. So those are those. And then another new start I have, I did show briefly in a short, but it was barely started at that point. And actually what I showed in my short, like 2 minutes after I made that short, I threw it away and started again. Because I don't remember why. Yeah, I don't remember why, but I did. So it is a hexagon. This is one full hexagon panel. So pretty and sparkly. And what this will be, if you haven't already guessed, because, you know, I've mentioned it before, is a hexagon cardigan. So here is, you know, one side panel of the cardigan. So, you know, the center here is your armpit area, so it will be like this. So this is the sleeve and this is the body. I am going to, once I'm done with the second one, go ahead and attach them together and then extend out the sleeves and extend down the body to be a little bit longer. I don't know, the sleeves are almost, no, they need to go a couple more rows too. And then I'll put my ribbing on for the sleeves and probably do a ribbing border around it. But I am loving it so far. And I believe I did mention it before. I know I haven't shown it, but I did mention it because I did make the granny hexagon cardigan a few weeks ago that you've probably seen. I've worn it a few times and I've talked about it. And I did mention that I don't really like the granny square part of it because I can feel like the air coming through those holes. So I wanted to make it with a solid granny square. So I did. I'm not following a pattern for this. I kind of just did my own thing. I bought this yarn when it came out last year. This is the Karen Crystal Cakes in the colorway Claret and Lava Rocks, if I remember correctly. And I bought this yarn to make a cardigan out of it. And I've kind of just been holding on to it looking for the right pattern. And I think I finally found it. I personally, now that it's done, kind of wish I would have done less rows of each because I wanted more black in it. But I think when I extend down the sleeves and extend down the length, those will be in black too. But I wanted more striped effect than it has. But I'm still very happy with it. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's going to be gorgeous finished. I love this yarn so much. I know some people didn't care working with it. I personally love it. Like, it's so super soft and squishy, and I think it's going to make an absolutely great cardigan. And again, this is kind of my own thing. I didn't look up a pattern. I didn't follow a pattern. I kind of just went with what I remembered from the first one. And I know there's tons and tons of granny hexagon cardigan patterns out there, whether they're the standard granny square with the holes in it or solid granny squares or, you know, some special stitches in them even. I know there's tons out there, but I kind of just wanted to do my own thing. So I did. And who knows, maybe eventually it will be a tutorial because, again, I know there's tons of different patterns out there, but it is my own thing. I wouldn't say it's my own design because I didn't design the hexagon cardigan, but I did design, you know, using my hook size and how I wanted it for the rows and everything. So maybe one day. So there is one panel done. I did start the second panel. I know I got through the first section of the red on it, and I think I'm like 3 rows into the black on that one too. So if I work on it at all this week, which I do plan on doing, I should actually have it done by next week. And that leads me to the last thing I have, which is the 4 blanket that I'm working on for 2 of my coworkers that are getting married in May. And my goal is to get 10 rows every other week done on this. And I did not get 10 rows done. I did only get 6, which I don't know if I'm going to work on it the rest of the night or not. It's 7:30, so I could get all 10 done and just show you guys the next time I show it. I don't know if I will though, but doing the Heartthrob blanket for the Things We're Making Thursday collab I've been doing has taken up a lot of my time. And I've been working pretty steadily on that, which is why most of my projects that I have this week are actually smaller projects than you're used to seeing with me, and less. Please close the door. What was I saying? So yeah, that has taken up quite a bit of my time. So that's why I didn't get all 10 done, is because I actually only picked it up earlier today, and it's the first time I've had the chance to pick it up and work on it. But there it is. So still absolutely gorgeous. I love this pattern so much. And it looks great in this colorway. So there is a full view of it, and I do have a stitch marker to where we saw it last time. So my beautiful Birthstone stitch marker from Tiffany at CMM Designs. So I got 6 rows done, and it goes from this row right here up. So these rows that I worked on today too were the least favorite out of all of them, because I have made this pattern before and they do take me forever. So one of the rows is back post half double crochets, which are probably my least favorite stitch in the world. I hate them so much. I wouldn't say hate, I don't mind them that much anymore, but there was a point in time when I made the first one where I just hated them. But I don't mind them as much anymore, but I would love to not have to do them. And I believe it was 90 per side, so 360 back post half double crochets. Yeah, not fun. So that took forever. And then the row right after that is single crochet in the back loop only all the way around. So just a few more than 360 single crochets back loop only, which takes longer than standard stitches too, for me personally, because I got to pay attention to only grabbing the back loop and not both. So those rows did take a little bit longer than most of them, and the blanket's getting bigger, so it is going to take me longer to get the rows completed. But I think it looks great so far, and I'm actually, it looks like I got a lot done when I hold it up. So that's great. And I actually, on this very last round right here of these, what are they called? 3 double crochet clusters. Wow, I'm sorry. I just had to tie on my second cake. So I was able to do all of that with just one cake. And I just started my second one. And I tied my knot so good on it. Because I do like this magic knot method that I can't even tell where I tied it on. I think it was somewhere in, no, that wouldn't make any sense. I think it was like somewhere in here, because I feel like, I don't know, I honestly can't even tell where I tied it on. Maybe right here, because there's a weird color change where it goes from cream to like the silver color. But yeah, so I got all of that out of one cake, which is awesome. And I am using the Caron Skinny Cakes for this in the colorway French Vanilla. I have 4 of them, I believe, so I definitely have enough to make a very good size blanket. But that is all I have that I've worked on this week, other than my temperature blanket, which you will see on Tuesday, and my Heartthrob blanket, which you'll see on Thursday. So if we go to my planner and take a look at it, we got 4 blanket. I didn't write down 10 rows, surprisingly, which is weird, but I'm gonna consider it a check because I got 6 rows done. The black and red cardi, I didn't really put a specification of how much I wanted to get done, so we're gonna be able to check that off because I did work on it. We got the baby cardigan, which is finished, so I'll be able to color that in and check it off. We got the toddler cardigan. I'm gonna say that's a no because I didn't really get that much done on it, but I did at least start it. And then we got a seed stitch beanie, which I mentioned that I did this instead. It's still a hat, so I'm still gonna count that is complete because my goal is to make a hat a week, not really a specific hat. I was just kind of planning to do the seed stitch beanie, but I got inspired to do this, and now I wish I hadn't. So I say it's still a pretty good week. I didn't really have too much plans going into it other than, you know, the 10 rows on the blanket, which I didn't do. But I still did plan, or I still did work on everything I had planned, and yeah, I still call it a good week. So for this week coming up, starting tomorrow, I have dolls on there. Which I guess I could be a little bit more specific, but like I said, for the little girls, these are for my aunt wants me to make them dolls too, and she wants me to make the clothes for the dolls in the matching colors here. So I found a really good amigurumi pattern that I'm going to use to make them. So I want to work on them. I really would like to finish them within the week. I don't know if that's possible. I think I might be shooting myself in the foot with that one, but I'm going to try. And then the black and red cardi, I have it on there again. And like I said, when I was showing it, I really think I can finish it by next week. Not really a goal, but it's on there. And then my tilted tunic, which I haven't showed in 2 weeks now because I haven't touched it. So I did write that down because I want to get a little bit of progress on it. I don't think it's anywhere close to where I could finish it by the end of next week. But it at least is on here. Blah. And then the last thing I have is my Casablanca blanket, which is the mosaic blanket I'm working on for my husband. And I do have 10 rows written down for that one. So that is my plan for next week. We'll see if I follow it. So far, I'm doing okay with following it. I'm actually kind of shocked. I think if I stick to just a few projects for my goals and still actually give myself room to throw in some other projects in there, like this one, or things like that, or like the black and red cardi, because that was kind of an afterthought, but I put it on there because I did want to work on it. I think I'll be able to stick to it. But if I were to, you know, plan it out and be like, I'm only working on these this week and that's it, I don't think I'd be able to stick to that. But I think the method I have going right now works. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope everybody had a great week and is having a great weekend and has a great week ahead of them. So I will see you all tomorrow for the next one. Bye.